Good morning. I'm Sheila Maria. It's wonderful to be with you, and I am a psychic medium for starseeds. And this morning, I really want to talk to you about the importance of connecting with your inner knowing. And this is for a very particular reason, and that is because my guides have reiterated to me that as time goes on, your point of attraction is speeding up, and what you're going to see manifesting into your reality on a daily basis is as a result of how you're feeling about your life overall within. And that means obviously emotionally, but it means mentally as well. And the other part of this that my guides have spoken about, which is often something which is, we try to overlook it, and that's the effect that our loved ones have upon how we feel about our life. So, for example, when my little girl is going through a difficult time, or when a loved one's health is really not good, obviously you worry, and obviously that has an effect on how you feel about life, and that in turn has an effect on what's going to manifest. The other part of this, which is something that my guides wanted me to touch upon, is when the person concerned is not as awake as perhaps you are, and maybe they are suppressing their emotions. Maybe they are using behaviors or stimulants to cover up the way that they feel. Maybe it's a lack of self-esteem, it could be a low-lying depression. Whatever it is, it has an effect on you because they are your soulmate. And I wanted to give you some tips about this because it is something that I see an awful lot with light workers. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about how their energy gets into yours. So when I'm talking about their energy and your energy, I am literally talking about the aura, okay? And your aura contains all the soul contracts that you currently have in your life. Now, even if it's somebody that you love so much and you're very close to them and you care for them very, very much, and you would do anything you could to help them, whatever's going on with them, the soul contract has like an etheric container which is in their aura and it's in yours. And we tend to think in terms of physical containers and then something joining them, and it's not like that. You have a special area within your soul, within your aura, within your soul layer, which is for your spiritual contracts, and they have that as well. So it's your soul contract itself which is allowing their energy to affect you more perhaps than it should, more than you plan to. So what do you do when you're trying to be positive and you're trying to move forward, but every time you feel as though you're just about moving forward, something happens around someone you love and it knocks you down again? So this is something that's happened to me, and this is something that does happen to a lot of sensitive people, and it happens to everybody, by the way. It's just that the more sensitive you are, the more awareness you will have that you're experiencing a setback from where your trajectory was. So the first thing to do is to make sure that you cut all negative cords with your loved one. So there are positive cords that no matter what happens between you will never be cut. And they are the cords that literally mean that they are from either your soul group or a soul group very close to yours in vibration. Positive cords will never be cut. I didn't see my eldest son for nearly 5 years, and the positive cords were never cut. So it didn't prevent him from coming back into my life when the time was right. But where there are negative cords, it means that you are receiving the overflow of stress, the overflow of frustration, the overflow of their anger. It's literally like a drainage pipe coming straight into you. And what that does, if your vibration is quite high, it's literally like a balloon with a load of rocks at the bottom of it. It just brings you down, right? And when you're supposed to be up here because that's natural for you, and you keep getting brought down, that gap in between where you should be and where that energy is making you causes your life path to be much more erratic and disruptive than you planned it to be. So number one, all you need to do is ask Archangel Michael to cut the negative energy cords between you and your loved one. And I do this with my daughter all the time. I will say, Archangel Michael, please cut the cords between me and whichever child it happens to be, or even with me and my husband. And it's got nothing to do with your relationship with them. If anything, it's going to make you feel stronger because you're able to stay where you really are, and you're then able to support them. Okay, there's Michael coming in. So the next thing to bear in mind is that the soul contract is pre-agreed. And there is a level that you agreed to go to on behalf of that person. And then beyond that, you are not on your path and they are then not on theirs. So what happens when you go beyond a boundary that was set in your soul contract, what happens is they stop growing, and any hope of them growing at that particular time is cancelled out because you're basically energetically enabling them. And so therefore they don't feel their soul trying to pull them forward. And when this carries on too long, their soul actually partially, just partially, comes outside of the soul plane. It comes out into the etheric template of the aura, okay? And the person can become disinterested in their relationship with you. They can become apathetic in terms of life. They can feel disillusioned in terms of anything that they were interested in, because basically the very reason for them being on earth is to grow as a soul. So if we are doing more for somebody than we should, they're not able to do that for themselves, because you're not allowing their soul to be within the aura, within the soul plane, which is number 4, and pulling them forward. Okay, so you may feel as though you're helping your loved one as much as you can and really, really hoping that they will grow. But if you're doing more than is set out in your soul contract, you're actually increasing the likelihood of them not growing, not changing, not getting better, not taking responsibility for themselves. And in some cases, you are actually putting their life at risk if that then goes too far. So we will say to you, the second message that we have for you today, if you know that you are doing too much for somebody, you will know, because you will feel heavy and you will literally feel as though, I can't keep doing this. I just can't keep doing this. That's the way it will feel. Now, I wish to share something with you. So, my beautiful daughter is incredibly intelligent. She's also Asperger's and autistic. She's written 2 books that sound as though they were written by like a 40-year-old woman. And yet, she has some habits which are very, very juvenile, and I have to do an awful lot for her. I literally have to do an awful lot for her. And yesterday I lost my Fruit Loops with her because it got too much. Now, the funny thing was, she wasn't angry with me because I don't lose my temper hardly ever. She wasn't angry with me. She knew that she had been expecting too much, and she knew that I had been doing way too much. And she actually was very matter of fact and basically told me to stop doing as much for her. Now, that blew my mind, because at a conscious level, what teenage girl, issues aside, would not want you to do everything for them? But at a soul level, each soul does know when they're not growing as they should. I don't care whether they're masking their growth with coffee, chocolate, alcohol, whatever, or whether they're just stubborn and they just don't want to grow. Each soul does know when they're not doing what they should. And you will know if you're doing more than you're supposed to, and you're not helping the relationship between you if you do that. So the second piece of advice that I have for you this morning is, please step back, spend a few moments with Archangel Michael and ask him to help you feel where the boundary is. Now, your fear may say, but if I don't do this, I'll never see him again. He won't want to know me. That is your fear. Your soul contract is designed to evolve. And if it doesn't evolve because we're enabling someone too much and we come off our path, eventually the higher self will end the soul contract. So asking Archangel Michael to show you where the boundary is. And you can even ask Archangel Michael to show you how to implement that boundary with love. That is going to get both of you back on track, and that can allow your relationship, your friendship, your marriage, your connection to evolve to the next level, because you are doing literally what's in your contract. So we really hope that this has helped you. If you need any more help with your relationship with your loved one, I do offer tuition on how to heal your soul family and your soulmates. I also offer soulmate healing. I also offer higher self tuition and much more besides. So head on over to my Etsy store, which is called Mystic Chick, or my website sheilamaria.com. You'll find lots of different options to help you there. And one of my latest options is actually to find out who somebody was to you in a past life, to help you to understand the dynamic that you share in this one. For now, I want to thank you for being with me. Have a wonderful day. Lots of love.